I found a ring light on clearance, so I'm pretty sure that makes me a real YouTuber now. Hey everyone, I am back at long last with another video. As always, I am joined by Naja the Mummy and a named Wolfman. I don't have any pets, so... It is officially spooky season. It's September as I'm filming this, or as I like to call it, Halloween Eve. And to celebrate, I'm going to be unboxing my author copy of It Calls from the Veil. Just the one this time, but you'll notice there's a lot less cardboard for one paperback than there was in my last unboxing video. But first, where have I been? And what happened to the AuthorTube newbie tag that I said I was going to post? Why am I wearing yellow? Don't I know that's the only color that doesn't look good on me? It sounds to me like that's on yellow. As to the other stuff, it's down to a couple of things. To be honest, I was not prepared for how long and stressful the process of editing the Easter book tag turned out to be. But more importantly, I realized that with my current schedule, I could either make time for writing or make time to learn all of this AuthorTube stuff. I can't do both right now, and if I have to choose, it's gonna be the writing. This whole AuthorTube channel was supposed to be a casual thing anyway, so I decided to scale it back to when I had something specific to film. Which brings us back to It Calls from the Veil. My favorite kind of horror is ghosts and haunted houses, so I knew I was going to have to write something for this call. And lucky for me, my ghost story, which is called Goodbye, was accepted. This was the second anthology I was featured in this year, the first, of course, being Monsters Mayhem. So let's see what it looks like. Doesn't have the usual thing you can just rip. I don't know if that's... This is so messy. Like a bear. It's pretty. It's all pretty. I just see the... but it's pretty. Okay. Give it to me. That looks like a bear. Probably an easier way to do this. There's a thing here. A bit, kind of. Supposedly, I think it's supposed to make it easier, but... It's open. Oh! It's pretty! The remains. There I am. Let's read the back, shall we? It calls from the veil. Delve into the darkness. What awaits us at the end of our lives? Is it the bliss of eternity, or is it the insanity of shadows? Find out in this anthology of the paranormal and supernatural. We woefully present you with 18 twisted and terrifying tales of what lurks behind the veil. A make-believe monster becomes all too real. A mother's hate doesn't stop at death. A late-night work call becomes a fight of survival. Demons lurk, and spirits get their final revenge. These are not your mother's bedtime stories. And this is the cover. I was gonna say this looks like me on like a bad day, but less red. But I do have a thing for my ring stand to change colors. I just haven't tried it yet. So I could make it redder. I didn't think about that. Should I make it redder? It calls from the veil. Apparently this thing needed to be charged, so I don't know how long it's going to stay like this. It's also much darker now. And of course, you know what I gotta do. Let's see, it's darker now because of the red. I want the red to show up. So let's see if I can still find Goodbye in here. Here it is. I'm in print. There it is. There's the beautiful artwork that Michelle from Erie River did. Yeah, so mine takes place in 2020, and there is different timestamps basically as you go along. As far as ghosties in here, because I said I was very excited, I was like, maybe there's going to be ghosties in here for the scene breaks. I mean, of course there's ghosties in here because it's Calls from the Veil. But, so, these are the scene breaks. Don't spoil yourselves, but yeah, they look like this. It's like a moon thing. It's very pretty. Well done, Michelle. I love the cover art you did. There's a little graveyard at the bottom. But yeah, let's look at this cover for a sec here. I love this cover. I like we got the screaming lady who was woken up too early, of course. And now it's even redder than it looked before. You can see my ring light. Whoops. And now it's even redder. I'll try not to show my ring light. I don't want to spoil the mystique. Here's the spine. It's so pretty. There's the Erie River thing. And there's even the pretty part here. Oh, I like this. I think it's just because that's the little graveyards at the bottom. And I'm pretty sure I showed you. Where is it here? Goodbye. But yeah, the art for the first page. It's the scary eyes. I'm also going to read from Goodbye, so I hope you'll stick around for that. I didn't do it for Nightmares when I unboxed Monsters and Mayhem because it's so short. And I already did a reading for the live shows for both anthologies. That's over on Erie River Publishing's channel. I will link those live shows down below. It turns out that Goodbye is much longer than Nightmares, so I'm going to be reading from a different part of Goodbye than I did for that live show. And that red light just died because I didn't really charge it. I just set it up because I wanted red. So now there's no more red. I apologize. I will make sure there's more red if I need it next time. I hope you'll forgive me. But let's get into this. Let's get into reading from Goodbye. Hope you're ready. To set the scene a bit, Goodbye is about a queer platonic couple who notice that strange things are starting to happen in their rental house after things go a bit wrong with a Ouija board. I just want to put out there, I know that not everybody who is in a queer platonic relationship would call themselves a couple, but in this case, Rachel and Livia, the main characters in the story, they do. That kind of thing is up to the people involved in the relationship, so please respect that. But getting back to the story, it's been colder than normal around the house, and they keep hearing a scratching sound coming from upstairs. Their neighbors have a cat who likes to just invite himself over whenever he feels like it, so they assume that that's the reason for the scratching noise. But every time they go to investigate, there's nothing there. So when this scene starts, Rachel and her partner Livia have been arguing a bit about what's going on in their house. Before she can respond, the scratching noise from the floor above starts again. "I've got him," I say, welcoming the interruption. I've left the bedroom before she has a chance to answer. If I'm quick enough, maybe I'll finally see how else he's coming into the house. I cut down the hall and head for the stairs. "Titus? Do cats come when you call them?" Not in my experience, but it's worth a try. I'm about to start up when a soft meow from behind brings me up short. I turn to find Titus sitting perched on the arm of our couch. I let out a breath. "There you are. What happened? You get sick of the second floor?" His bright yellow eyes stare past me intently, but he doesn't protest when I pick him up. "Let's get you back to Frida." I set him against my shoulder and reach for the front door with my free hand when I hear the unmistakable creak of hinges from the door to the laundry room, followed by a quick and lurching thump-thump, thump-thump, as though something huge is coming down the staircase directly behind me. I don't move. All my attention is on the way Titus's fur puffs up, nearly doubling him in size in my arms. A heavy footstep lands on the wood floor, followed by another, then another. There's a slight pause, and now I can hear labored breathing. Titus begins to growl. I've never heard a cat growl like that before. The steps end within easy reach, and then the only sound is Titus's snarls. My throat is bone dry, making it hard to swallow. I wait for whatever it is to do something. Grab me, maybe. But the seconds crawl by, and Titus keeps growling. My dread frays, then snaps. I whirl around. The house stands empty. Titus quiets. I stare in disbelief until the cat makes an impatient noise, and I reluctantly turn back to the front door. The moment I have it open, he springs from my grasp and is off our porch, streaking for Frida's house next door. I stare after him in surprise, my arm still bent to hold a chubby, cat-sized nothing, before the front door slams shut in my face. I'm shoved roughly into the door so quickly that if I hadn't already had my arms up, I wouldn't have had time to protect my face. A shriek dies on my lips as something colder than ice sears me in the side. I hit the floor in a heap. When I can move, I pull up my shirt to find 3 parallel slashes. They knit together before my eyes and fade into unblemished skin, as though nothing happened. And to find out what happens next, you'll have to grab your own copy of It Calls from the Veil. It's a whole anthology of ghost horror stories, perfect for Halloween season. I will leave the links to both anthologies I have stories in right now in the description below. If you want it instantly, you could get the ebook, or you could treat yourself to physical copies. I also have a link tree now, so you can find me on all of the social media if you want. I will leave that in the description as well. And finally, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Thank you for joining me, and goodbye. Siblings. Siblings, they're finally together. Yes, so pretty. So let's see what it looks